A first-ever Royal Blue Live event was held by the Liverpool Echo at the Baltic Market on Wednesday night, with a special quiz and Q. Hosted by experienced broadcaster Alan Myers, Everton correspondent Phil Kirkbride was on the panel alongside Dave Prentice, Altogether Now podcast host Greg O'Keefe, as well as former Blues left-back Michael Ball. The panel told stories, answered questions and gave their opinion on what might happen in Sunday's Merseyside derby, but inevitably there were many questions that were left unanswered. So here are the answers to some of the remaining questions on everything from Marco Silva's future to his ideal Everton footballer. Is Bramley more dependent on Everton remaining a top-half club? And will Bramley more affect our transfer budget? Everton are intent on building a new stadium, whatever their finishing position in the time it takes to construct it. The success of the move, however, could be dependent on Everton's league position, in terms of crowds and sponsors etc., because playing regularly in Europe, and particularly the Champions League, is key to this. Our first ever. Picked at twitter.com/bcxf8y6guy. He wants to retain the money to ensure the team is as strong as it can be. 6 classic Everton FC versus Liverpool FC games. Is Keane good enough? Because I prefer Jags and he is 36. Michael Keane in action during the Premier League match between Everton FC and AFC Bournemouth at Goodison Park on January 13, 2019. Image, Getty Images. Keane is having a significantly better season than his first at the club, where he struggled with form and fitness. Is he good enough? For our immediate aims of trying to get back into Europe, yes, I would say he is. Beyond that, it remains to be seen, but Michael deserves credit for the season he's had, which has, largely, been good. Apik Jagielka is the first name on the team sheet, but he's coming towards the end of his career now and his pace is not what it was. In terms of being a pure defender, you could argue there is nobody better at the club, and I could see the value in extending his deal by 12 months to retain his influence and know-how in the squad. Whether he would accept another bit-part season is a different matter, of course. Farhad Mashiri and his decision to leave Arsenal for Everton FC. Is Silva's job safe until the end of the season? Everything we hear and everything we're told says it is. But modern football in recent Goodison history suggests that you can never be certain. The sensible decision is that he stays, and Mashiri made it known, through TalkSport, that he wants to move away from the hiring and firing culture of his first few seasons in charge. That has also been the feedback other people at the club have offered, and Silva knows that Marcel Brands is a steadying influence at boardroom level. We have got to be patient, @Preno speaks it. He is joined on stage by @Phil Kirkbride, @Gregit, @Valio3 and @Alan Myers Media. Picked at twitter.com/2jival602. A few other factors make it the right decision to keep faith with Marco. The club decided not to add to the squad in January, because they have a long-term plan, and not forgetting that it would be somewhat embarrassing if the club, not long after paying £4 million to Watford, decide to axe the manager. The bottom line, as far as I'm concerned, is that Marco needs time in transfer windows to get this right. Everton FC playmaker aiming for revenge in Merseyside derby. When will we see Onyekuru and Vlasic in an Everton shirt again? Marcos Rojo vies with Nikola Vlasic. Image, Paul Ellis, AFP, Getty Images. Maybe never. Everton are hopeful they can get a work permit for Onyekuru this summer, but doubts remain about his suitability for the Premier League. Everton have been keeping a close eye on him, so let's see. As for Vlasic, the impression we get is that he is not keen on a return. He's done well in Russia, and the hope for many is that he is given a chance, but it's fair to say his Goodison future is far from certain. Why Cardiff win can be turning point in Everton FC's season? Do you think Kieran Dowell will get his chance at Everton? Kieran Dowell is given a great reception from former Everton caretaker boss David Unsworth after being substituted. Silva may argue that he got his chance in the first half of this season but didn't do enough in training, and in the few games he played, to earn a place in the team on a regular basis. I'm really not sure what will happen with Kieran. It's cutthroat at first team level and, as a young player, he needs to play games. He's brilliantly talented, but the Premier League also demands more from you. Cardiff City 0 Everton FC 3. How the Blues rated and who would you most like to see score the winner in front of the street end on Sunday? Anyone in royal blue, huh? There would be a delicious irony if Pickford came up for a late corner and hammered one in off the backside of Origi. Do you think the fact that Silva has failed to create a bond with the fans hasn't helped with people calling for him to go? I want him to succeed, but 8 months in, I don't feel any connection toward him. Marco Silva, Everton manager, with the officials after the 2-2 draw against Watford. It's always an interesting debate, this one. Creating an understanding and having a situation where the fans in the stands connect with the manager on the touchline is important, for sure. Especially so when times are tough, as they have been. Marco, especially in front of the cameras, is not that forthcoming and can appear surly and reserved. Away from the cameras, I can assure you, he is far more relaxed. I think some of that reservation on TV may come from his grasp of English, which, although good, still isn't perfect, and I know some of his answers can confuse people. Perhaps, as was suggested last night at the Royal Blue Live event, he needs that big win at Goodison and have that moment to get the ball rolling in that regard. Do you think Everton will win a trophy in the next 50 years? Or are there many more miserable years to come? I bloody well hope we win something in the next 50 years. If you could build your ideal footballer with the traits of any previous Everton players, who would they be? Great question. He would have the finishing ability of Lukaku, the class of Baines, the competitiveness of Cahill, Gay's work rate, Arteta's brain and Watson's brawn.